Happy October. So I figured we'd bring out my newest Tim Hortons mug and let's see it all heat activated. She is cute. Meow. But you're cuter. Here you go. Yummy, yummy. Make them disappear. Well, she's like, what treats? Gotta add our pumpkin spice creamer first. It's almost out, but that's my second one. Okay, are we ready? Fill it to the top without spilling. It's hard because what is going to turn first? The necklace. Ooh. Well, there goes the cup. And there's a back. Super cool. So we having a cup of coffee or tea. Cheers. Here's to a wonderful day. Delish. I love how the collar, the bell, is a timbit. Now I did notice there is like a mark on the ghost right there, a little scratch. So yeah, hopefully that's the only thing that happens, because I mentioned like I wasn't sure if I was going to get this, and I even commented on somebody's Instagram post that it's cute but it's not cute enough for me to buy. But I did not buy it. The hubby bought it. So technically I didn't lie, you know. Oh no, because I wasn't expecting to get it, but he got it, and yeah, surprised me. It is cute, slowly growing on me. I do think the ghosty one from last year, which they also brought out this year, is a little bit cuter, but yeah, it's slowly growing on me. But like, I saw a comment saying that people were washing their mugs and the faces were coming off, but I'm wondering if they put it in a dishwasher, because on the bottom it says hand wash, and for a reason, because if you put it in a dishwasher it's going to be harsh and really rough on it, right? So they might have been putting it in a dishwasher is what I'm thinking, but hand washing it gently, it'll be okay. Yeah, but I'm not sure if this little scratch was here when we got it or not. I don't remember. No, but she's cute. And it's October. I can't believe it. Where did September go? Where did August go? July, June, May. Like, what the heck? It's like, pretty soon we're going to be jingling all the way, and I'm fine with that. I just can't wait to decorate. To have all of my decorations out and not just some, and just like pick and choose, right? Because I only had so much room when we're doing the reno. Yeah, so we're still tackling it little bit by little bit. I think it's going to take us like the month of October, and the goal is to get done before November, because we usually decorate early November. So that's the goal. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. I'm hoping the hubby gets the rest of the paint off today. He got a good chunk of that done the other day off the floor, and there's some in the hallway, and after that's done I can like rearrange some pieces up there and figure out where to put everything. Yeah, we'll get it done eventually. That's good. Oh, that meatloaf that I made, it was super good. Definitely gonna make that recipe again. We had the rest for leftovers last night. Not last night, the night before. And there was nothing left over. It was that good. And it wasn't dry. Because you know sometimes meatloaf, especially like the second night, could be dry. It was not dry at all. And that's probably because of the breadcrumbs. Because when I would make my grandma's meatloaf recipe, I would use oatmeal. And this one it was breadcrumbs and tomato soup on top. Now I don't really like tomato soup on its own, but like mixed with like yellow mustard, brown sugar, I like, yeah. On top of meatloaf, I won't drink tomato soup by itself, you know, or drink it. Yeah, I just had to take a call from the hubby. It never fails when I'm trying to film. Yeah, somebody always calls. So yeah, it was just really good, scrumptious meatloaf, and definitely will be making that again and double up on it for leftovers. And then we had chicken fajitas the other night, and we had leftovers last night, and those were so good. I mean, oh my gosh, really good. Yeah. Yeah, easy peasy, you know. Everything's done in the frying pan and you put it together. We like to put a ranch on top of ours and just roll it up and enjoy. Now I'm thinking tonight we're just going to take it a simple, easy, because tomorrow I have to go grocery shopping. It's going to be hot dogs and mac and cheese night. Yeah. Nothing fancy unless you put ketchup on it, and then it's fancy. Yeah. So, easy dinner. Oh, but it was just really, really good. Oh, yep. And let's see, what else? Did you hear about Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban? My gosh. Yeah. 19 years of marriage, and yeah, that's it. That's it. But there's a lot. Like, okay. Keith Urban wouldn't be Keith Urban without her. You know, that's like the only reason people know who Keith Urban is. Okay, and I'm not really a fan of Keith Urban. I probably recognize one song when it comes on the radio of his, and that's it. I don't know a lot of his songs. I'm just not that big of a fan of his. I like other country artists a little bit more, but like people wouldn't know who the heck he is without Nicole, because everybody knows who Nicole is. Like, yeah, 19 years, she did not want the divorce. She wanted to work on it, but he said that she wasn't there for him emotionally like he would like her to be. And it's like, what are you talking about? She was the one that tried to keep you on the wagon with your addictions, you know. Okay, but they're both busy because she's been in quite a few movies and TV shows, and he's touring. So yeah, like, you do have busy lives, and it's very hard to kind of have a marriage when like your lives are chaotic like that and you don't see each other very often. She deserves better. She does. It was like kind of a step up from Tom Cruise, and I can imagine, you know, the Tom Cruise with his Scientology poop, that probably messed her up in one way or another. Like, yeah. So, but, and there's reports that he already has another girl, and I'm not surprised. I am not surprised, and I don't think a lot of people are either. because that's your first thought, because he wanted the divorce, and it's like, oh, so who's the new girl, Keith? Come on. Apparently it is the 25-year-old course. Like his oldest, their daughters are, I think, what, 17, 19, so not too far off of their age. and she's a guitarist in his band. So yeah, that's what the people are saying. So because like when Hugh Jackman got a divorce from his wife Debbie, and then all of a sudden he's seen stepping out with a co-star of his, and it's like, yeah, you're not fooling anybody, you know. It's like, oh, I don't know, it's ridiculous. That's Hollywood for you. You know, cheating, they don't care. And I'm just wondering who gets the hair straightener and the separation. I know. Just give it to him, Nicole. Give him the hair straightener. Yeah, because it was announced that they were separated, and then the next day she filed for divorce. But they were separated for quite a few months. So, yeah. Well, hopefully, they can both heal and she can move on. She deserves better. And she gets her daughters 80% of the time. So she's going to be like the main parent. And he was fine with that. I'm like, really? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Like, what is it when guys hit a certain age? There's like, really, age isn't a number. If you're in love, you're in love. But I think it gets to a point where you have to ask yourself, is it really a number? Because what I think it was, I don't know, was it Instagram or Bookface? But there was a video of Dick Van Dyke. He just turned 99, and his wife. And I was like, are you flipping kidding me? I love Dick Van Dyke. Put him in bubble wrap, okay? His wife is 54 years old. He's old enough to be her great-grandfather. Ew! Like, I don't, oh my gosh. Like, I don't get it. That is, to me, in my opinion, okay, that is way too big of an age gap. When he was that age, she was like 8 or 9. Like, what the heck? You can't honestly tell me that you actually are in love with him. No. Like, you're just hoping that that you're in his will. Like, I was shocked. I'm like, what? That's his wife? Like, I was expecting somebody closer to his age. Silly me. Expecting somebody to be like, just a few years off of his age. Yeah, but no. Like, she's 54. She just celebrated her birthday. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like, what is it with older men? They have to get younger girls. Like, I don't get it. I just don't. So it's, no thank you. Believe me, I will get those kind of messages over on TikTok. Oh yeah. I get the you're looking for a sugar daddy, and oh my gosh, and it's like, yeah, delete, and I get one from men that are old enough to be my father and maybe, grandfather. And it's like, no. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Like, we don't do this to guys, right? But like, guys will always like, oh, hey, beautiful. I even had, I had somebody say, like, the weirdest pickup line. Your dad must be a thief. He stole the stars from the sky and put them in your eyes. I was like, what the heck? Was I'm so tired because I've been running through your mind all day. Is that like just not popular anymore? Or heaven must have lost an angel because here you are. Like, I would prefer one of those. So like, it was just so weird. It's like, yeah, go away. Like, a perfect stranger, and you are, messaging this, and it's like, yeah, no, it was just weird. It's just, you're just like, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get that, hey, beautiful, and, like, oh my gosh, just shut up. Leave me alone. Like, oh. I know, like, and I just don't know where they come off from, and they think, oh, this is okay, like, no, we don't go doing that. That's a guy thing, like, seriously. And then movies. they are doing a Simpsons 2 movie next June. And I was like excited for that, but then it's like, it's been like almost 20 years since the first movie. And the first movie was good, you know, and we got Spidey Pig, you know, Spidey Pig does whatever Spidey Pig does. Yeah, it was good. We have it on DVD, but it's like 20 years after, you know, I'm interesting to see like how they're going to go about it. You know, I'm hoping it's good. You know, we love The Simpsons. Not as much today, you know, because I think they've been renewed for the 40 years. Yeah, they've been renewed up to 40 years. I forget what season they're in, but they've been renewed up to season 40. And it's like, when do you say enough is enough? Okay, this is it. This is the last season. You know, it's like you have to stop. You know, you just have to. Are you waiting for Family Guy or South Park, Bob's Burgers to go first? You know, like, I know, like, it's just not as good anymore. So I am excited, you know, but kind of like, you know, because you're hoping it's good and not a dumpster fire. So we'll see. I was just kind of surprised because it's like, but the first one was 20 years ago. Why are we waiting so long? You know, I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, right, we'll just, you know, bring our sleeping bags to movie theater next year because we'll probably see that one. And we have Supergirl next June, I think. And I'm sure there'll be quite a few. Like this year, there was a lot. I think we saw, like, what, 5 movies? And usually we will see, like, two movies tops, right? Because, yeah, movies are expensive. But it's like, oh my gosh, when the movies came out, it's like you want to go see them in theater. So it's like, yeah, just bring my sleeping bag. Oh. And then I'm on Bookface last night, and Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks, okay, it's a hilarious movie. They are doing a prequel series for FX, so it's going to be a TV series, and I'm like, this is a classic movie. Okay, can we just stop it with the remakes? You know, and just more like the reboots, you know, just stop. Leave that stuff alone. Think of new stuff, please. I got a donut. I'm spoiled. I also got coffee for tomorrow. This is like 2 cups of coffee right here. Yeah, so with Young Frankenstein, leave it alone. And then, okay, and you know who's gonna be in it? Zach, I cannot pronounce his last name, but he's from The Hangover, that guy. And Carrie, I cannot pronounce his last name. His last name, it's like E-L-W-E-S. As You Wish. He was in The Princess Bride. Yeah, I do love him. He was in a Christmas movie on Hallmark, and I think it was with Mel Brooks, and it was really good. And it was like in a castle, and oh, it was really good. He's really good, and he's easy on the eyes. Yeah, he's aged really nice. Yeah. I guess he's in it. I'm not sure who's playing what role and how they're gonna go about it. I'll be, you know, probably watching it. I'm interested to see, but how it turns out. But it's just like, can we just stop it? Please stop it. You know, because these are classics that I love. You know, like, and I love them because my dad introduced me to Mel Brooks. You know, Spaceballs, which we're also getting Spaceballs. And I'm kind of sad because I won't have my dad to go see Spaceballs 2 with. I love that Rick, you know, the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and Ghostbusters is coming back. He's coming out of retirement, but he went into retirement because his wife was sick and she passed away, and he decided to put his career on hold and raise his kids, which is absolutely the right choice, of course. So it's great to see him come out of retirement for that, but it's like I'm excited but I'm sad because this would be a movie my dad and I would go together to see, because like, you know, like we watched all the Mel Brooks movies, and no, it won't be the same obviously because John Candy passed away. I think he had a heart attack, and I think he was in his 40s. Oh my gosh, I think he was around my age. I'm 44. Yeah, he passed away too young. We lost him way too young. And you know what? You never ever hear a bad thing about John Candy. You hear only good things about him. How wonderful of a man he was, how big of a heart he had, and how he was always helping somebody. You know, he was the sweetest man, and you know, a Canadian gem, and like I said, we lost him way too soon, so like it won't be the same without him. So I'm curious to know how they go about that. Now he does have a son, so maybe his son can take over his role, but I don't know if his son is into acting. But yeah, that was my first thought. It was like, at first I was excited. Okay, great, they're doing Spaceballs too. We're gonna see Rick again, but then it's like, oh, John Candy. Yeah, and it's like, when my dad's not here to see it with me, so that kind of bites. I'm telling you, he had bad timing, you know? You really do. No. I think it comes out in 2027. Yeah. And then, you know, speaking of remakes, they are doing Murder, She Wrote, and I'm not happy about that. Dear Hollywood, come up with some new flippant ideas. So you have Jamie Lee Curtis, okay, taking the role, and I think she's going to make the character like her own and put her own twist on it, which is fine, but no. You know, it's very hard not to judge it before it gets put together when they start, you know, but right now, no. I loved Murder, She Wrote. Loved watching it. And, you know, Angela Lansbury, that was her character, right? Yeah. It's just like, how about no? I don't know. Hopefully they do it justice and it's not as terrible as I'm thinking right now. You know? I mean, a new generation would get to enjoy it because, like, if you showed them the older episodes, they would probably not be as interested. They'd be like, what the heck is this? You know? No. Yeah. So we'll see. You know, I might give it a shot, but right now it's just like, why? Like they're running out of ideas. Yeah. After a while, you get tired of the remakes and the reboots, and you just wish that they would just, you know, come up with something different. But I guess they can't, apparently. Oh, but yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. Although that's all I want to talk about, and we have to go Halloween costume shopping. That will be happening soon. I'll be going pumpkin picking soon too. I'm like, ooh, crazy. Yeah, we did not go apple picking. We haven't been apple picking since before COVID, and that's because it's expensive. Yeah, the place that we would always go to for apple picking. Excuse me. Before COVID, okay, you didn't have to pay for anything to go on, like, it's somebody's property, right? So I'm not upset that, because it's their property, you know, it just sucks. Because it adds up a little bit too quicker, because before COVID, you only had to pay for like your kids to go play on all the fun stuff that they have. So they have like a tube slide, they have like a fun anchor area, so there's like a tube slide, there's like swings, they have like a barrel train. My kids are way too big for that, unfortunately. I know, it's just so sad, it's so sad. And they have like a huge jumping pad, and it's huge. Just it's full of air and you jump on it. And they also have, new this year was like kind of like a slide, and I think you sat on like on a tube ring and you slid down, so you have to like pay, but before, like, you only had to pay for your kids, and that was like so much a kid. I forget how much, but yeah. And I think you would get like they would get like a bracelet, and they could be there all day. And believe me, my kids could be there all day. And there's also like a petting farm. They have, I think there's rabbits and goats, and there's mini golf, and yeah. Oh, am I getting that confused with the pumpkin? No, that's apple. No, okay. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Yeah, so but you didn't have to pay for yourself, okay? It was just the kids, and I get it, because the kids are out there using all the fun stuff, right? Well, during COVID, during like, I don't know if it was the first or second year, they decided to charge an admission for everybody. So the adult admission, I did the math, and for all four of us, it would be like $46 around there, and the kids' admission would be more than the adults, because it's the kids that go out and play on the fun stuff, which I get. And like math, and then I did the math, and it would probably cost us, you know, with the admission fee, and then they charge for the apple bags. Before we started going, they would do it by the weight, but now they charge per bag, and I think those have gone up a little bit. It's like I think it would cost us $20, because the five pound bag, and I would usually get 2 of the 5 pound bags, and those I think were like $10, and then the 10-pound bag was $20, maybe something like that. But it's just like I did the math, and it's like with admission fee, and like to get probably 2 small bags, you know, 5-pound bags, 10 pounds altogether, so the boys can each have a bag and pick apples, right? And then they also have like a place to get food, and the food is really good. I mean, we got poutine there once, and it was really good. And you always like grab something like apple bread. They have like baked goods, and that's really good. So I figured if we got something to eat and we grabbed a couple of baked goods treats, it would probably cost us like around $130 just to go apple picking for like one afternoon. And it's like, what the heck? Good thing the fresh air is free for now. Like, you know, like, it's just too much. Whereas before, we would probably spend around $70, I think, yeah, with the apples, and the kids getting to play on the equipment and fun stuff, and then getting something to eat. When we get something to eat, we would just share it, you know, to make it a little bit cheaper. So yeah, I think like before it was like around $70. It was always under 100. Yeah, but now it would definitely be over 100, since it would cost like $46 for us to go in for admission fee. It's just, yeah. I'll just pick apples at the grocery store. No. And every year I'm like, okay, we'll go this year, right? Because it would be fun to go. And because we haven't, like I said, we haven't been since COVID. But then it's like, you know, we just have something that come up, and like the past 2 years obviously have been rough, and it's like, yeah, maybe next year we'll see. maybe next year we'll splurge. Yeah, I know. But I was just like, but even then, it's like I don't want to. I don't want to spend the money because I just think it's ridiculous. And since they changed it where you have to pay an admission fee for everybody, not just the kids. Like, yeah. Yeah, you only had to pay if the kids, and it's just on the weekend. During the week, you don't have to pay for anything because that's the only time the fun stuff runs is on the weekend, because that's when they're the busiest, of course. Yeah, and if they didn't go, like if they didn't go into the Fun Anchor thing area, and you didn't have to pay, you know, you can go and just pay for your apples, you know, and whatever you bought food or treat wise. That was it. You know, I like that way better, but they changed it. And it could have been because like during COVID they probably did lose money, so you know, and that's their decision. It just sucks, unfortunately, but you know, oh well, what can you do? Yeah, win the lottery. Yeah, I wish. You have to play it to win it, though. Anyways, I'm going to finish up my coffee, and I have to make a grocery list, figure out what to eat next week, dinner-wise. I want to do those 2 new recipes that I've never made before. Probably do that maybe, yeah, sometime on the weekend. Yeah. So... Oh, and Mandalorian, that's another movie that comes out that I would have gone with my dad, but with that one, I have the boys to go with me, so, but still, I wish we got my dad started on the Mandalorian. Yeah, I didn't even know that's being made to the movie. I know, Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, yeah. like Casey would say, oh, they're just milking it. I'm like, yeah, they are. They are. I mean, we'll still go see it. So, but yeah, I say that's, yeah, when I miss him, it's like, oh, he was my movie guy, you know. Yeah, because we like the same movies. We're like really similar, okay? You know, we were like the same person almost. Yeah. And it's been 2 months. I just realized, yeah, 2 months. It doesn't feel like it. So it feels like yesterday he passed. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's big adjustment, yeah. But anywho, I'm gonna finish this and carry on with the day, get some more of our house back to normal. More videos on that. I think I put them in a playlist so they can be easy to find. Yeah. I think while he's getting the rest of the paint upstairs off the floor, I'll do something down here, and we'll be able to have coffee on the table soon. I didn't have coffee outside. It was a little bit too chilly. I didn't know where my hoodie is. I think it's upstairs. So hopefully we can have one more coffee chat outside before it gets too cold, but I just decided to have it inside just because I didn't know where my hoodie was. Well, I think I know where it was, but I didn't feel like climbing the stairs. So yeah, I'm sure we'll have another nice morning to have coffee outside, and then I'll eventually have my table. Yes, it'll be cleared, and I could do a puzzle. I have like quite a few puzzles to do. I do have a fall puzzle I got at a yard sale last year, but I'm not going to do that one until like probably next year. There's no point in doing that one. But I have like, yeah, probably a handful, close to it. Yeah. So, and I have to go through the boys' games. Well, I will be getting rid of a lot of games because we don't play games. We are not a game family, okay? Now, I kept buying games. You know, it's me. I'm the problem, okay? Because I will buy the games, knowing that it's just going to sit there and we're not going to play it. And if we do play it, an argument starts, you know, because somebody gets ticked that they're losing. Oh, and always, we're just not game people, okay? We're not right now. Maybe when the boys are a little bit older, but you know, it's like, yeah, let's just put it that way. We're just not a game family, okay? Unless it's Nintendo Switch, okay? Yeah, so the games just sit there. Yeah, we did. We brought one out. Henry, like, moved everything out the way and brought Apples to Apples out. I don't really understand that game. Not all of it. Kind of, but not really. And I think we were just, like, kind of, like, making up our own rules. And, yeah, we didn't play it for long. Let's just say that. You know, it's just, yeah. We are not game people. Like, we're not. We can't even play Uno. Okay? We can't. Okay? Like, I have Uno. I have a couple versions of Uno, but yeah. As of right now, no, we can't. Oh, I'm sure people can relate. Yeah. Yes, I have to go do that too, but I have to, like, be sneaky about it, because there might be some I do keep. There are some that we played when they were younger, and they were fine. You know, when they're younger, they play games, but they get to a certain age, and there's always somebody who doesn't like to lose, okay? And you try to tell them, it's okay, you can't win every game, but it doesn't matter. But we'll get there eventually, you know. I do have to be sneaky, because even though it's a game that, if, like, Henry hasn't seen a long time and he sees it, he'd be like, oh, nope, can't get rid of that. You know, he likes to keep everything. My dad was like that. Oh my gosh, speaking of my dad, yeah. Okay, let's coffee chat's on over. Just buckle up. I dropped off the muffins the other day to my mom, and because, like, my dad does keep, like, everything, or he did keep everything, and Henry kind of is like that. He doesn't want to get rid of anything. And one time my sister pointed out that you were like that too. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know what she's talking about. I actually, I was like that with a rocking chair. I have always loved rocking chairs. I would fall asleep in this rocking chair, and it would always look like the most uncomfortable position ever, but I was comfortable and I could always fall asleep. And as you know, rocking chairs do eventually, they break, okay? They don't rock as nice. The spring breaks, right? And we had to get rid of it, and that really upset me. So yeah, Henry is my mini-me, okay? So the apple don't fall far from the tree with him. So yeah, but I don't keep every single thing as bad as my dad did. So as you know, my dad had one leg. He had a false leg when he was 19. He got into a car accident. Well, no, he wasn't in a car, but he got into an accident. He kept a news article from that time, because back then, he was 19 when this happened. Back then, it was big news for our town, okay? And it happened on a highway, and the speed limit was probably 80. So my dad's car broke down on the side of the road, and this guy and his young family, wife and 2 kids, he pulled over to help my dad kind of like push his car out of the way. And they were beside the ditch, and the drunk driver, because I always knew it was because of a drunk driver, but I wasn't sure who died. I always thought it was the drunk driver that died, but no. The drunk driver hit my dad and this guy. He, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time. He died probably instantly, and he, got hit when he went into the ditch. And so my dad ended up losing his leg, and the guy was drunk, and the guy hit the back of, I think, my dad's car, and yeah, and I think other people were injured too. The article said it was like around 7 people who were injured, and one person passed away. And he was from a country that starts with an A. I can't think of it, but oh, was it Austria? I don't think it was Austria, but he was from another country. And in 3 days, it went to court. See, back then, you went to court, boom, right away. Today, you wait forever. So in 3 days, they went to court. And my mom said back then, they protected the drunk more. Yeah. And it's like, wow. So the wife and my dad got, I think, oh, excuse me, $27,000, which of course was not enough. And the drunk, probably, I'm guessing, it never said what happened to the drunk, but I'm guessing that he probably slept a couple nights off in jail, you know, and that's pretty it, you know, okay, you can go, you know, like, yeah, so that's how he lost his leg. I knew there was, like, a car accident, but I didn't really know the details. I kind of, like, you know, got all mixed up, because I thought the drunk driver died, but, whoops, sorry. Yeah, that's how he lost his leg. And, like, you know, like, when he met friends later on, and because at his memorial celebration of life, you know, people, like, really, they said that, yeah, you know, it never occurred to me to ask him how he lost his leg. I know, just, you know, it was just part of him, you know, like, he just doesn't have a leg. That's just, you know, that's just him, right? And they just never thought to, like, it never occurred to them, oh, yeah, like, how did you lose your leg, you know? Like, I would be curious, you know, like, oh, how did that happen, you know? But, yeah. Anyways, I decided I would, yeah, share, because, yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for the young family, yeah, to lose their father, and he was just doing what he thought was right, stopping and helping, and lost his life for it, so, unfortunately. Yeah. But my dad survived, obviously, because I wouldn't be here if he didn't, so, yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure if his dad was still alive, because I know he lost his dad pretty young. Yeah, he might have been still alive. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And he kept the article. He kept, like, a scanned copy of it. So, yeah. And it happened around this time of the year. I think, like, in November. Yeah, it happened. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then of course he was caught in the crossfire, and he ended up losing his leg. Yeah. I remember him talking about it, like, at least once. Yeah. Of course, it's not something you're going to bring up every time, right? Because I'm sure that was, like, very hard for him. Yeah. But yeah, they protected the drunk. Like, hey. Yeah. Not today. Not today. No. You get the book thrown at you. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, okay, I'm gonna finish this up. That's probably long enough coffee chat. Yeah, maybe I'll do some filming. We'll see what I decide to do. We're just gonna wait for the coffee to kick in, and then we'll get to work. Alright, so thanks for joining me for this coffee chat. I'll see you guys in the next fun video. And yeah, that's it for now. Till next time. Ta-ta for now. A side note on Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, because I forgot to mention this when I was talking about them, and coffee just kicked in. She put in her prenup a clause that every year that they were married and he stayed sober, and if they ever divorced, he could get up to $900,000 for every year he was sober. What the heck, Nicole? Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? Why? Why? Like, that has to be the most stupid, ridiculous clause ever. Why would you put that in there? No. No, 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 no. You protect yourself. Okay? Like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. Like, Yeah. Like, no. And like when I got married, I think it was like 3 months after they got married, he went into rehab, you know, like, yeah. I'm surprised I lasted 19 years, to be honest, you know, especially because it's Hollywood. But, yeah. I hope he gets the hair straightener. Okay, that's it.